Me on the first Into the Kitchen video, I showed you how to prep dough and sauce. And I said I'd bring you back when I was ready to put the pizzas together. Well, I'm ready to put the pizzas together. So, let's get at it. First thing that we need to do, what I like to do so that it has time to set, is I like to grease my pans. I just have regular pizza pans, and this is like baking sheet, but it makes great pizza, so I'm not going to complain. What I'll do, paper towel, fold again, vegetable oil, any kind of oil. If you like to use olive oil, that doesn't matter. My favorite actually is peanut oil. I love cooking everything with peanut oil. If I can get it. I know it's expensive, and hey, it is what it is. So I mean, to me, that's like a delicacy. If I could have some peanut oil to do some frying or whatever with, but I'm just taking this. I'm just gonna go upside down a couple times. I'm just kind of like get some saturation into the paper towel without it being super sloppy. Back up, maybe you can see. And then what I'm gonna do is just take this pan, and I'm kind of just like waxing it in the oil. It'll get a nice sheen when it's done. Too much oil, it's gonna burn your pizza right on the pan. This just prevents sticking, and it works great. You just lightly oil your pan. You can also, if you're in a pinch, if you don't have any oil, if you don't have any olive oil or or cooking oil, vegetable oil, canola oil, peanut, whatever, any type of oil. If you don't have any type of oil and you're in a pinch, I don't recommend using butter. Butter will actually, it'll burn quicker than you could imagine. I know because I've done it. But mayonnaise is a great trick. Just a little dab of mayonnaise and spread that out. Now I got these pans nice and coated. This is going to go away. I can put oil away now. And we're going to begin the actual making of the pizza process. And it's all going to start with our dough. So I'm going to bring you back over here. Right? And while I have no viewers, I'm going to get a beer. Alright, thanks for waiting. You're just tuning in. I went and grabbed a beer real quick. All I did was grease my pans, and I am ready to roll that out and make some pizzas. So, I got my dough. What I want to do is prep my surface. Flour. Not a lot. Bigger mess you make, the more you have to clean up later. Now I'm just going to kind of take this, just give myself a good, nice, floury surface so that I can roll this out. I'm going to roll my dough first, get a nice coating, just nice flour coating. Then I'm going to separate my dough, because this recipe makes 2 pizzas. If you watch first video, Out of the Woods and Into the Kitchen Part 1, you'll see how all that's done. Well, I'm not going into all that. So, where we are here is with this. Now, I'll start with my hands first. I do use rolling pins, but I prefer if I can get a good hand roll, good hand flatten on the dough. I wish I had the ceilings where I could actually, do some dough tossing and showboat a hair, but I've tried in here and it has not gone well. So I'm going to refrain. I'm just going to palm this out, always pushing the dough to the outer edge, working it towards your crust. And as you do that, give it a flip. And then as you're at about, at least for me right now, I'm at around a 12-inch diameter here. I'm going to get my pin. And then with my rolling pin, I like to start in the center, palms on top, and I'm pushing out. Notice this little back and forth motions. And you can see what that does. It just extends that dough real nice. Then I'm going to grab, flip, stretch it out, and just work my crust around that edge, and it's going to draw a really nice, like I said, I can't throw my pizza in the air because I have a very low ceiling, so I can't toss my dough, which is awful because a good centrifugal spin in the air, that just, it just sets the dough so nice. But I've got to kind of make my own circle here with the rolling pin, which I can do nicely. Once you have it all pushed out, you can bring that dough to a nice circle, and it works out just as well. It just takes you longer, and it's more work. You can see, got a nice good circle here. Give it a flip. It's always nice when your dough can flip. Just work our corner. Here's our last piece. I know I'm getting the size now that I need. So I'm going to bring my pan over. And now I'm actually going to use my pan as a measuring device. I'm doing my circular pizza first. That's pretty solid. So I don't want bottom of my pan to get flour on it. So I'm going to turn it over here. As I pick my dough up, I'm very careful. I'm going to lay my dough down. And I'm slowly going to ease it. I don't want to rip the dough. I just want to drag it to the edge to make a nice crust. Just get some air under it. Get it to the edge to make a nice crust here. And really just fill up this pan. Now I've got some extra dough there, but that's okay. Just going to stretch that out. That's perfect. Now, if your dough overlaps a little bit, that's fine. You can do a stuffed crust, a rolled crust. What I like to do, if you have too much dough that overlaps your pizza, I'll actually take my pizza cutter and run it around the rim. But right here, this is perfect. I'm just going to push in on these edges. And you know what? We're going to get some pieces with some really nice crust. And that'll be just wonderful. So we're just going to work our crust just like this right to the edge of the pan. I do like a little bit of crust on this pizza. It's great for dipping. It is a white sauce pizza. I have a beautiful garlic sauce, beautiful garlic white sauce that's going to go on this pizza. We're going to do, like I said, 3 cheeses. So we're just going to push that out, get that crust right to the edge of the pan. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. This one's done. Look at that. That's excellent. We're going to set her over here. Back around. Now we've got our flour mess again, so we're going to get our flour. Again, so like I said, this recipe makes 2 pizzas. It's an excellent recipe. again, go back into the first video. You can follow how I do it. Second ball of dough, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to roll this out. Now, for this pan, I got a square pan, so I got to think about whenever I'm doing this. I got to start to form a rectangle here, which is kind of goofy in the dough world. You don't like really want a rectangle, but you want to push out a rectangle. And you always need to flip your dough. Once you start to get the shape that you need, like the reason that you have to flip it is because you'll stretch it out too much. The dough does need to rebound. It needs to grow as you work it and move it. And I like to move it, work it in both ways, length, width, especially when I'm doing a goofy square here. So now I'm going to stretch this out. Again, 2 hands on the roller. Bring it back, push it forward. Don't draw it out too thin yet because you also have to bring it long ways. Don't forget that when you're doing a square. No, you don't want your length to be too exceeding. And we're starting to get, we're just pushing out our edges now. And I'm saying I wish I had the ceiling to throw this dough, but in this case it wouldn't matter because the baking pan that I'm using is rectangular. So I have to make a rectangular dough that I can fill the whole pizza. I've already did my circular dough. And this is coming along excellently. Let's give her a flip. Pull my edges out. And as you can see, I'm starting to make a nice rectangle because my pan's rectangular. I wish I could throw it, but my ceiling won't prevent me. I'm going to draw this out. That, I don't know if you've ever tried to spin a rectangle. Very hard to do. So, right there, I'm going to keep that shape. That's excellent. That's going to form me crust, I think, and overhang. I'm going to bring my pan over. Lay my pan down. That covers, that's perfect. I'm going to spin you here so you can look at the pan. Okay, so I got my pan. So now I'm going to gently take my hands under the dough, under my crust here, because I don't want to stretch it further, and I also don't want to ruin it, draw it out too much. So there I am. So now I'm just going to take and cover this whole pan with it, and it can overhang. Again, I said previously, if you really want to, you can take your pizza cutter, go around the outside of the edge here and snip your dough. But I'm going to make a nice fluffy crust of this. And that's just taking that excess and just folding it up in, right? Like that. And leaving that air in there, that dough will rise. And that's going to make a real fluffy crust for me. Just bringing it in. I have this edge of the pan that I can back against. And remember, this is homemade pizza. Go back and watch my first video, off the mountain into the kitchen, part 1. Shows you how I make the dough, how I make the sauce. But there you have it. Let me show you here. Right on. Okay. I'm going to bring this over here with my other one. I did my circular. And I'm going to see how I can set you up right here. Alright, that should be good. You can get the gist there. Now, what I'm after, I already have my sauce made. What I'm looking for now, in my drawer of, well, every utensil, sauce ladle. Okay? Now, this is going to be a 3-cheese pizza. I'm sorry you can't see me. But I have my sauce here. I made this beautiful white sauce. I'm just going to pour that, just like that. And then I'm just going to use the bottom of this. I don't like to use the spoon to pour it because it tends to end up in like one big area. It's easier to go from the pan. Really, the amazing use of the spoon comes from the bottom of it as a sauce spreader. And I put this on pretty thick, which is excellent. I like it thick. That's personal preference. So we're going to do just like that. I'm going to transfer this here over. All right, we're going to move this just to there. I'm bringing the other one over, our circular pie. Again, these are just the pans that I have, and that's what I'm using. So I'm going to put the sauce on. One. Just like that. I am going to save enough for a nice dipping sauce because I made that crust, and this is an excellent garlic sauce. I've got this in a crescent shape, so I can just kind of moon it out. Get it right up onto that crust there. And that way your entire pizza and your crust has that awesome garlic white sauce. For you guys watching, if you go out of the woods and into the kitchen in my live feeds, watch first video, I'll show you how to make the sauce and I'll show you how to make the dough. This is all homemade pizza. The only thing I'm not making is the cheese, which comes right now. Let me grab it out of the fridge. But first, cheers to you guys for watching. Cheese time. For this one, what's interesting, I gotta preheat my oven right now, and I'm gonna set my oven for this homemade dough at 350. And I'm going to do a top rack, low rack, then I'm going to pull switch about halfway through. But for this, I like to do American cheese on top of the pizza. A lot of people don't do American cheese on a pizza, and I don't know why. You know when you put cheese on a burger on a grill and it gets that nice like goldy brown on top? Well, that's going to be the topper of my pizza here. So we're going to start with our cheddar first. Let me get my cheeses. We're going to do cheddar and mozzarella and American. And you can use whatever cheeses you like. This is a really off-the-wall way to do pizza. I love experimenting. I love pizza. I've been cooking about as long as I've been hiking. And I have a huge passion for both. So we're going to get a nice good sprinkle here on the cheddar and just kind of like push that out. It's okay if you're pushing it down into the sauce. Now remember, you're putting 3 cheeses on this. I'm not doing any meat. I'm just doing 3 cheeses. Wife's a pescatarian. She had her gallbladder out. She really can't do red meat. The kids, they don't care, and I really don't care either. This pizza is just fantastic when it's done. So there's my cheddar. Well, and I'm going to go straight into my mozz. Now the mozz I'm going to do a little heavier, just because I do want a good cheesy pizza. I mean, if the cheese is your meat and potatoes of the pizza, so to speak, right now. So that's what we're going for. And I'm probably going to butcher his name, but my buddy Guy in Como from Italy, he was with me through the first video. I'm sorry, he is lactose intolerant, so this is probably the worst thing you can do. Now we're just going to take our slices of white American, and I'm just going to lay those on top. And again, not many people go with American cheese on a pizza, and I'm saying you're wrong. A lot of people consider American cheese not a cheese, just a pasteurized product. I'm not getting into that. I'm saying I like the taste of it, and it's really good on a pizza. So that's what I am doing. Then I'm just going to go like that. So voila, there you go. There's one. I'm gonna bring my other one back. There we are. My kitchen is not set up for filming and cooking, and I'm not really set up for filming and cooking either. But start with cheddar. And this is our square pizza. Just going with our cheddar here. And again, I made sure I made extra sauce so that I can use it as a dipping sauce. Just got this cheddar here. Now, if you wanted, you could add meat, add pepper. Add whatever in the hell you want. There are pizza purists out there, and I say they're wrong. I really do like those guys that they have that channel or video or whatever in the world, but Will It Pizza, kudos to them. I don't try and pizza everything, just things that I like. Toppings that the family likes. Now here we go with our cheddar, or cheddar's done, our mozzarella. And again, we'll go a little heavier on that mozzarella and push it out to the crust. I got big chunks of mozzarella. Just excellent. And then after we get the mozzarella on, we'll go ahead and do our final top coat of American. And she'll be ready to go in the oven as soon as I get the temp. One nice thing about square pan is whenever you are laying square cheese, it covers really nice. Sorry if you were expecting something crazy or ridiculous out of this, but no, just this is just straightforward how to make a really good homemade pizza for you and your family to enjoy, and showing you how to do it from scratch, probably with stuff you've already got in your kitchen. And there we go, one last slice. Tricky. There we go. Got one there, some extra sauce, and voila, that's it. Pop them in the oven, and then just pay attention to them. I got my oven preheated right now, so they're going in. No, I don't have any in there to show you what they look like when they're done. Not that kind of cooking show. I'm not a cooking show at all. But here we go. The 2 pizzas in. I'm going to give them about 10 minutes, and then I'll switch them. And they're done when you can smell them. You'll know. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm going to enjoy, again, like and subscribe. And I'm sorry you're catching me at the end here, but I'll put a picture up of my pizzas when they're done, because I'm not gonna go live me going ham on pizza. So thanks, guys. I hope you appreciate it, and if you try the recipe, if you don't, let me know. Give me your feedback, and have a good time, guys.